Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR, HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the LifeBites radio show where entertainment meets life. Well, today on LifeBites, I'm very excited about this show. I don't know if it's my own reflection that is happening right now, my own deepening of myself, but I love today's theme. It is awake to your true self, awake to your true self. And, you know, sometimes when we are going through life, it's busy. You know, we get up and we're on our cell phones, we're on our computers, we're talking nonstop. We're in the busyness of the world and we're bombarded. And it is sometimes very difficult to know what is your true self. So today we've got a great lineup, and coming on in just a few minutes is Nikki Johnson-Incandela. She's a well-renowned photographer, and she has a series that I'm actually going to be a part of. It's called How to Be Seen. It's basically being seen in your true light, but we will talk about it. Be Seen interview series on mastering your look. And then soon after that, I have the founder of Counterpoint Films, Paola Florio, who is also an Oscar-nominated filmmaker and television producer, and the co-director with Leeman of the movie Awake about Paramahansa Yogananda. I am so looking forward to having them on the show. And then later in the hour, I have Sandy Stewart, who is also a favorite of mine. I had a chance to listen to her and watch her talk about getting back to your core at the Association of Transformational Leaders, and she's going to be talking about, you know, how we can awaken to our true self. So with that said, I've got Nikki on the line. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing really well, and I just want to I had introduced you as a renowned photographer and speaker, but, you know, your true gift is embracing, empowering, and capturing the true essence and the beautiful spirit of your clients. So you go well beyond taking pictures of people. And so tell us a little bit about your Be Seen interview series on Mastering Your Look. What's it all about?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. This is a platform I speak on many stages about, and with clients and their branding and marketing, about the importance of an authentic brand being built out of who you are and your lifestyle, and very specifically and intentionally, using who you are as a person to attract your high-paying ideal clients to you. So we are interviewing, I think we're up to 24 people. We'll be launching 1st of December, so it'll be all of December, in order to really empower everyone to come out in the beginning of 2015 with a new light about themselves. We have experts from image consulting, branding, radio. Obviously, Nina, you're a part of it. Authors, models, hair and makeup, events and stage, TV and acting, stylists, and spirituality, just to name a few. So I'm really excited to kind of give everyone a free resource for a full, well-rounded way of seeing themselves differently and using their visibility to make more money and make a bigger difference in the lives of others.
So is this for everybody, or is this for people that are really wanting to brand and image themselves in a more authentic way, or both?
Yeah, it's for both, actually. It's for everybody. Because there are pieces of us that show up in a corporate environment, too, that really need to be finessed. If you want to get to that next level in your corporate job, you need to really strategically have a plan for your visibility there, as well as if you own your own business. I even work with my family clients with seeing themselves in a different light in their family photos. But this is more strategically placed for people in business and entrepreneurs.
Wow. And also I would imagine people, maybe even authors and experts that they want to be out there in a more visible way.
Exactly. And, visibility hits us and, affects us, and we put it out there in so many different ways that you don't think about which is what this interview series is really all about. It's to, tap into those resources of how we operate on a daily basis. Your written word and the integrity of that on your website better will match who you are in person and how you show up online. So, it's from the written word. It's from, accentuating your features with hair and makeup so that people stay more engaged with you in order to know that you're the person to hire. It's about all of that. So I'm really excited about the interviews that we're having.
I can't tell you how many times I have, met with people or talked to clients that want to be more visible in terms of media, especially on the visual side, right? So, and they go in on the camera and they've got these busy outfits or they're lighting, they're doing their own, photography and or video. And, it makes such a difference, having all these aspects really aligned with the message that you want to be able to present. It's interesting, though, that you say authentic visibility, because this is a real shift, I think, in the traditional media model. Most of the old model is about, putting a spin on it. And what you're saying basically is find that true self. I mean, is that what you're talking about when you talk about authentic?
Exactly. It is finding that true self, really centering in who you are as a person and how you want to show up today. And you know what? Tomorrow, you may be a different person, and that's all okay.
And Nikki, sometimes that happens, So,
exactly.
Yes.
We're different from 1 minute to the next. We know something in the 1 minute that we didn't know a minute earlier. So, and what I love about this series and what's coming out of it is, stuff that we all experience, right? Like our fears, our limitations, our blocks, because being visible means you have to deal with a lot more. You have to take more responsibility for how you show up. So we're not just, covering the aspects of how to strategically do that. We're also covering aspects of how do you get past those fears and limitations? How do you reset your mindset? How do you get past those jitters of, public speaking is the number one fear. How do you get past that? How do you use techniques and tips to really, stand powerfully when you're scared to death?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a really important one, because I think our resistances are sometimes the biggest obstacle. We can have all the elements very much put together, all well put together, and we look polished, and we go out into the world, whatever our field is, and we're holding ourselves back. So tell us, it starts, I think you said December 1st, is that correct?
Yes, it starts December 1st. We will be launching one interview per day, and they've all been pre-recorded for scheduling ease, and we'll be going all through December. The promotion period starts on Monday, so the website will officially be up Monday for people to opt in at www.beseenlive.com, and you'll be able. It's free. And it'll be a great resource for people. And, even if they don't have time to listen to all of them, they can kind of scatter through and see which ones they're really being called to listen to.
That's wonderful. So beseenlive.com. The promotion starts. It'll be up live November 17th. The series starts December. I just want to really invite my audience to take advantage of the series. It's free. There's some wonderful, wonderful, guests and experts talking about how you can be seen in 2015. And I actually have a free gift for you too. So I'm not going to spill the beans. You'll have to wait to listen to the series. So on that note, Nikki, I want to say thank you so much for being on the show today and spending a few minutes and talking about your wonderful series. I'm so looking forward to going through it myself.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much for the additional exposure and for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks again. You're listening to LifeBites Radio. Remember, go to beseenlive.com. That'll be launching November 17th. The series will start December 1st. And for anybody that is looking to be seen, and I say be seen, her series isn't called Be Seen in 2015, but it does rhyme, and it's about mastering your look, I would say from the inside out, and finding that authentic you. Who do you want to be? And I think that really really kind of brings home awake to your true self. because this is really what this show today is about, and it's powerful. And I know for myself, when I would think about awakening, what does that mean to me? Some of my spiritual discovering and reawakening and self-discovery and my own deepening had to do with the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. So I am deeply honored to have one of the filmmakers on the show today. The movie is called Awake, The Life of Yogananda, and it is an unconventional biography about an Indian Swami, for those of you who do not know who he is or who he was. Well, who he is, because I think he's still here with us very much. And Meditation in the West in the 1920s. This feature documentary explores the life and teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, and who authored the spiritual classic of The Autobiography of a Yogi, which has sold millions of copies worldwide and is the go-to book for seekers, philosophers, yoga enthusiasts today. It is the only book that Steve Jobs had on his iPad, and he arranged to give away 800 copies of it to the people who had attended his memorial service. And, you know, there's so much more to who he is. I know I spent some time down, not only in self-realization here, for those of you who live in Los Angeles, down on PCH and Sunset, but I had a few, not as many as I'd like, and I'm actually thinking about going back to the retreat down there in Encinitas, down by San Diego. Beautiful, beautiful property. And the minute you walk into the grounds, you just feel different. And his energy, those eyes. So I'm very excited for my next guest, because she is the director and also the founder of Counterpoint Films, Paola de Florio. She's an Oscar-nominated filmmaker and television producer who has featured extraordinary individuals and the triumphs of the human spirit. De Florio's films have been distributed theatrically throughout the world and featured in broadcasts on HBO, CBS, NBC, Fox, PBS, Sundance Channel, Court TV, and TLC. And you know, it's this film. It's really for everybody. So Paramahansa Yogananda is a true yogi, and I did not know how much difficulty and challenges he had coming over to America, and I'm looking forward to having having her on the show in just a few minutes. So for those of you who have any questions or you would like to know more about the film, feel free. We're on Facebook right now to give us a question or a comment. Here is a wonderful quote by Paramahansa Yogananda. Read a little, meditate more, think of God all the time. So we're just waiting here on Paola, but she's going to be here in just a few minutes. Another wonderful quote is, "You have come to earth to entertain and to be entertained." So with that note, we have Paola de Florio, the director, or co-director, I should say, of the movie Awake, The Life of Yogananda. So I'm so honored to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Nina. I'm very honored to be here.
Well, you know, there is a definite deep connection, and I'm sure with a lot of people who know about self-realization and, Yogananda, those eyes alone. This film is very powerful. How did it come to be, and how did you and Lisa and everybody get involved? And because I know that this has been talked about for a while now, so it's interesting that you guys are the ones that are bringing this to life.
Yeah, it's. Thank you for your kind words about the film. I think for decades, people have been wanting to make a film about Yogananda and knocking on the door of Self-Realization Fellowship to do so. And I think they weren't that eager to jump into it. It's such a huge endeavor. And then in 2008, I think there was just a convergence of things came together. There was somebody who was prepared to finance the film, who went to the organization, asked them to get involved in opening up the archive to make all the film footage available. And, I think a lot of Yogananda's direct disciples were passing on, and there was an urgency to really record this really important history.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, Self-Realization Fellowship decided to do, to their credit, they decided to go to outside filmmakers to make the film. So they have hundreds of thousands of devotees all over the world, and there are many talented filmmakers that could have jumped on board that are devotees. But they chose to find a filmmaking team that was outside of the organization, and so they came knocking on our door. And I think at the time it was really something that I think in some ways scared me because it was deeply, deeply spiritual. And although I consider myself now, I know and I understand that I've been a seeker my whole life, I think that I was both attracted and repelled at the idea of making a film about such an incredibly important person and such a deeply spiritual theme.
Yeah, I would imagine, it might be a little overwhelming. And also, making a film like this that is broader in reach, so it's not just staying in the community, because I think this is a film for everybody. I think that in one of the materials that I was reading about you, I think it was either the Hollywood Reporter or the LA Times that said, this should be a must-see for every single American.
Well, thank you. I think that both Lisa and I had, a feeling of, we were really asked to make a film for the world. And we were attracted by that idea that, we were not making a film that was, necessarily to convert people or to speak only to the devotees, but really to look at Yogananda's teachings, which in the way that they really are for the world. We live in this time where everybody is, I don't know, a single person that doesn't feel overwhelmed by the pace of life.
Yes.
And the demands of life. And we forget so quickly that in order to tap into sort of a larger potential within everyone, within each and every one of us, we need to slow down and find time to really go inside and check in. And Yogananda's message is really all about that.
Well, let's talk about that, because I think people that are not aware of his teachings, aware of really who he is, and they may identify yogi. I had somebody say to me once, and I think there's a lot of misperceptions of who he is. I remember them saying to me, well, I can't study or, really read that sort of stuff. I'm Christian. And I thought, wait a minute here. You know what I mean? This isn't a religion. And so how do you address people that may have a misperception of who he is?
First of all, I just want to say to all those people that both Lisa and I really relate to that feeling. I mean, we both have deep, feelings of what to want to approach things in a very ecumenical way. And Yogananda's teachings are so geared toward that, because really he was all about finding and bringing out the commonality between all religions. So it really doesn't matter. I mean, yoga is so it's a terrific equalizer, because it meets you where you're at, and wherever you are on your path toward discovery of spiritual search, self-realization, wherever you are, there is a place where yoga can meet you and deepen wherever it is that you are. And it doesn't matter what faith you practice. I mean, Yogananda always said that meditation is really about the underlying unity of all religions. And he would say, don't take my word for it. He was very much an advocate of asking questions, of really doing your own research. And meditation, in a way, asks for people to be their own living laboratory and to take the steps that yoga provides to deepen our introspection and our ability to check in with our own higher self. And it allows you to follow these steps and really raise your consciousness, no matter what denomination you might be following or coming from.
I love that. Well, we're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a lot more about this film, Awake, Life of Yogananda. And I just want to there's this wonderful quote that you have in your materials. I guess one of the monks said it on the film, and I thought it was just so beautifully said. Too often people seek spiritual experiences when what's really important is to cultivate an experience of spirit. And we'll be back, yes, and we'll be back in just a moment. My guest is Paola Di Florio. Oh, wait a minute. Paola, Wait a minute. What is your last name?
Paola, Florio.
Florio. I was going to say Florentino, and I was like, wait a minute.
I like
yes.
that too.
Yes, Paola de Florio. So I don't know where I got Florentino, but we'll be back in just a moment.
Okay.
See straight and save. These days, everyone seems to see things differently. But from your eyes, you can see straight and save. Right now, get glasses online at 70% off at Glasses USA. There's a 100% guarantee, too, on top brand men, women, multifocal, and even prescription sunglasses. Visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on Glasses USA, and you will see straight and save.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now, this same technology is available to you. They have the best earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. earthchannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things, like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget, web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now, so come to earthchannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call earthchannel.com at 800-849-8978. That's 800-849-8978.
Okay, you're stressed. You need a little R&R. Wouldn't go into a spa help? There's all kinds of spas, too. Destination spas, medical spas, day spas, even dental and mobile spas. Where do you find the right spa at the right price? Oh, no, more stress? Well, not anymore. Visit spafinders.com. At spafinders.com, you'll find everything you need to know about spas from around the world. So de-stress. Click on spafinders.com right on our homepage. Ah, I'm feeling relaxed already.
We're HealthyLife.net, reaching and helping a worldwide audience without hype, without shock, and without shenanigans.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to LifeBites Radio, where entertainment meets life. We are talking about awakening to your true self, and what a wonderful film to profile this, Awake, the Life of Yogananda. And with me is director Paola de Florio, and she is the co-director along with Leeman, who's the other co-director of this wonderful film. I love this quote from Yogananda: "Every tomorrow is determined by every today." So tell us a little bit about the film. What does it explore exactly?
Well, I think it's really exploring what it means to be in touch with our human potential in a way that I think awakens that reality within us. So we discover it for ourselves. No one tells us that. We experience it. And through that experience, we bring so much more of ourselves into our daily lives. And Yogananda's teachings were all about getting us to realize that.
Well, and go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I think when we left for the break, Nina, you said something really interesting, which is that we live in a world where we're very result-oriented in the West, and I think the world has really become that way at large. I think we strive. There's a lot of striving. There's a lot of trying to get the result quickly. And even with watching our film, we see people coming to us and saying, but I want to get the Kriya now. How come you didn't show me how to do it in the movie?
Oh,
and,
wow.
We want instant enlightenment.
Yes.
And there's something really terrific about the lesson of the teachings of Yogananda, which is that, he used to, when he was bringing the teachings of yoga across the country and traveling across the country and speaking to Americans for the first time about yoga and the Eastern philosophy, he would perform feats, in order to show people what power was within us, what lay within every human being. And he would come to the stage. He always said, what lies within me lies within all of you. And he would have people come up on the stage. At one point, there were like 6 men on the stage, and he said, "Come charge after me." And with like the flick of his stomach, he sent them, flying across the stage. Other times he would tell people that they didn't know how to sleep, and he would want to show people that we can control our heartbeat. And he would stop his heart. And suddenly a doctor would come up on the stage and just say his heart had stopped, and then moments later he would pop up and he would suddenly be awake and with us. And all of that was to just demonstrate to everybody that this power lies within us. It's the control of if we can control our mind and use the breath and our willpower, we can access this really great potential within all of us.
Well,
yes.
What I was going to say too, and the film deals with the accessing of that potential. But what I actually really loved about the film too, is that anytime you look at somebody that is spiritually developed, it doesn't even have to be spiritually, in any endeavor that they have excelled, and people look to them for answers, right? What you profile is the struggle that he and the challenges, which he really did go through, and the perseverance, and yet the still questioning that all of us do as human beings. I found that very fascinating. That his life was not just let me come to the United States and thousands of people are listening to me. It was a challenge.
That's right. He was facing some real life issues, and I think that was something that Lisa and I and Peter, who produced the film and edited the film, we really looked to bring out his humanity, because that's what we can relate to as human beings and our own struggles, like you just said. So, he had to face a lot of severe criticism, racism, betrayal, hardship, broken heart. And the thing that I think we all have to do, which is it's not so much about the moments where we succeed, it's about what do we do in our lives in the moments when we fail. And it's really about coming back and picking ourselves back up. How do we do that? And in his case, and as it always was his case, it was about reconnecting with Spirit, reconnecting with God. And in his life, in the darkest hour, when he faced a betrayal by, a very, very close friend who he had brought from, India to help him run the Self-Realization Fellowship on Mount Washington while he was touring the country. And because, he was away. And I think that the press at that time, it was, the birth of gossip columns. And, there was a huge attack that came upon not just him, but yoga in general. It was like, what is this thing that people are talking about? Who are these dark-skinned men that are coming here from India and teaching us these things?
Yes.
And they attacked him. And so I think he lost, he lost all of his devotees at one point. He had to rebuild the organization from scratch. And I think that coming full circle with the conversation of, accessing what's within us, it really comes, ironically, from a place of stillness.
Yes. Isn't that? Yes, yes.
So I think that that's really what I love about the film, is that it reminds us that in this world of, such high speed and ambition and trying to accomplish so much. We're in the information age. We have so much information coming at us. It's about letting go of all those desires, all of that striving, and just being at a place of stillness, because it's within stillness that we really access everything that we need in our lives, whether it be to get to that next step, that next decision we have to make, that next emotional state of truth, to be to bring more of ourselves, whoever it is that we truly are, more of our true nature, and in a heightened way. That's what self-realization is all about, is getting to that higher state of consciousness and bringing more of ourselves out into the world. Beautifully said,
Paula. And a question for you, and basically what you're saying, in order to speed up, you've got to know how to slow down, too.
That's right.
Yeah. So where can people see the film, and where can they, watch it?
Well, it is right now playing in 30 theaters across the country, and our website, Awake, the Yogananda, Awake, the Yogananda movie is our website, and you can check it out and see where it can play. The Yogananda movie, Awake, theyoganandamovie.com. If you go to the screenings page, it tells you exactly where you can see it in your area. If you don't see it there, you can actually demand to have a screening in your area through a gadget called Gather, which is also on our website.
Beautiful.
And yes, and it's been playing beautifully all over the place. It's been extended everywhere it goes. We're so thrilled at the response that people are having to the film.
Well, it's almost as when he came over from India over here, and it's a huge response. I also think that it's seeing it on the screen, the big screen. This movie actually lends itself to that. I really think that it's a beautifully shot film. You guys did an excellent job, and I am so thrilled to have you on the show. And whatever I can do to support the film and support your projects, I really, really encourage everybody to go watch this film. Believe me, you'll identify with it in your own life.
Well, thank you so much, Nina. Your show is terrific, and I love what you're doing. So, and I know I speak for Lisa and Peter as well. We're just thrilled to be a part of this.
Oh, and thank you so much. And, Peter being the editor and producer as well, and I think that's important because the three of you really came together to bring this film to life. So thank you so much for being on the show. I so appreciate it. Paola de Florio, Lisa Leeman, Peter, is it Rader?
Yes.
Okay, good. I got that name right. Definitely not Florentino, but maybe it's the Italy thing. I'm not quite sure. So anyway, thank you so much for being on the show. You're listening to LifeBites Radio, and we'll be back in just a moment.
When you need quality auto parts, Auto Part Warehouse is fast and easy. Always get the part that fits. Just enter your vehicle type specific to your car. Auto body parts, mirrors, brakes, suspension, steering, engines, and drivetrain. Need something yet? What about exterior or interior accessories or headlights? Auto Parts Warehouse has them. Top brands, great prices. Visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on Auto Parts Warehouse.
If you're in Southern California, you might want to consider HealthyLife.net radio for advertising. We have 18 hosts that have shows with loyal listeners just in Southern California. That means you get local advertising and the world for the same affordable price. With packages for every budget, you can't afford not to let that economic sunshine in for your business. Call now 1-800-555-5453. That's 1-800-555-5453.
To be a good father is the most important job in a man's life. But it doesn't have to be hard. Play catch. Go to a park or visit a zoo. Help your child with their homework. Sit down together for dinner. Ask them how their day was. Things get busy, and sometimes we all fall short. But the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
For more than 20 years, Homeboy Industries has made a difference in the lives of former gang members and at-risk youth in Los Angeles. Their free programs and services have given hope and opportunity to thousands and their signature businesses. Homeboy Bakery, Homegirl Cafe and Catering, Homeboy Silkscreen and Embroidery, and Homeboy Merchandise offers hands-on training in a safe work environment. Donate to Homeboy today and help them continue their important work. To find out more, call 323-526-1254 or visit online at www.homeboy-industries.org.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to LifeBites Radio, where entertainment meets life. Our theme today, Awake to Your True Self. just spoke to Paola de Florio for the movie Awake. And my next guest, I'm so excited to have her as well. I had a chance to meet her and listen to her and watch her talk about getting to your core self. And it was so moving what she had to talk about that I really wanted to have her as a guest on this month's show, specifically because of what we're talking about. Her name is Sandy Stewart. She served as an executive vice president for Bugle Boy Industries, building the company's sales from $0 to $500 million. She went to serve as an executive vice president of the Cherokee Group, responsible for signing and managing brands of all sorts of retail and licensing partnerships with major national retailers, Target, Walmart, Sears, you name it. Sandy has also served as a court-appointed child advocate here in Los Angeles County and has written about adoption issues for American Adoption Congress, Decree magazine. But in addition to that, she has been consulting on issues important to women in business, and she focuses on providing and sharing practical consciousness for women entrepreneurs, which I love. And this talk and what we're going to be talking about, we talked about the movie Awake, and that's a beautiful, enlightening experience. But now we can get down to the core and how you can actually develop that. She's a certified integrated body psychotherapy coach and is an assistant teacher at the IBP Institutes here in Los Angeles as well as Italy. And I did have a chance to meet her at the Association of Transformational Leaders. And with that, I'd like to welcome you to the show, Sandy.
Hi, Nina. It's so great to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. You kind of framed your talk, which was more visual in some ways, called Pillow Talk, and I love that because it was basically what you're doing is setting the stage for intimacy. But one of the things that was said as the introduction to you is when asked how to describe your life in one word, I know what the word is, but is it the same word today, or how would you describe your life?
Yeah, it's the same word. As a matter of fact, this morning that word was enchanted.
Yes.
And this morning I woke up and was really in the ecstasy of enchantment. When things are happening in the outside world and sometimes they feel like they're beyond your control, and that was happening to me, and I had the experience of really going in, connecting to my core, holding the paradox of the worst that could happen and the best that could happen, and know that I'm supported by the universe when I'm connected to myself. And I woke up this morning to great news, and all of those little outer world things had kind of lined up and were in place, so I feel very enchanted today.
Woo! All right. Well, congratulations. I love that. That's a beautiful experience to awake to. So, it's interesting because, when I thought about my word that I would describe, the word that came, and a lot of what I do is transformational, right? I mean, the work that we do. But it was interesting. It was more about the transformation of myself. And I thought, how interesting given what we're talking about going into our core. So how does one, in a nutshell, and I know we're going to go deeper in this, get to their core self?
Well, if I could, I think that this will work over the radio. I'd like to just do a little 1-minute demonstration about how we cut off from our core and start there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay.
All right.
So I promise this is only going to be for a few seconds, but what I want everybody out there to do, and you too, Nina, is think about something that is really unpleasant in your life right now. It can be as simple as a phone call that you don't want to make to a relative, a problem with your child, a financial concern, a health concern. We're only going to focus on it for a second.
Okay.
And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to focus on that issue. And then I'm going to count and say 1, 2, 3. And when I say 3, I want everybody to take their hand and just push it out in front of them as though they were pushing out the wall and like banging the wall in front of them. And at the count of 3, we're all going to together say stop. And just keep your hand out there and say the word stop until I give you the next direction, okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
So just for a second, think of that thing that you don't want in your field. Got it?
I do.
Okay. And at the count of 3, you're just going to push your hand out, say stop, and keep your hand out there. And we're going to push that thing away from us.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, stop. What do you notice about your breath?
It stopped.
It stopped. not breathing. And this has been our strategy from the day we were born.
I love it.
The first thing we could do as infants to defend ourselves against energies, they weren't even words because it was pre-verbal. It was before we even understood words. But we really understood energy. And we understood because we came into this world in our core what felt good to us, what was right for us, and what didn't. But we couldn't say to a mother and father that might be screaming in front of us at the dinner table, stop. We couldn't say to a mother who maybe is picking up the phone to talk on the phone while she's feeding us, and what we really want to say is, stop, be with us, be here. So the first thing we can do is hold our breath and cut off our aliveness.
Yeah.
And that cutting off our aliveness gets locked in our body and stays there until we become conscious of it and begin to once again breathe.
Oh yeah, that is just that's a beautiful exercise, and it really illustrates how we do cut off our energy. So in your talk, I know we don't have the pillows, but I love the fact. Can we talk a little bit about the breakdown of what you spoke about in that discussion?
Sure. Well, the first pillow, if you can imagine, is a beautiful round golden pillow with a sun on it, and it has the words on it, core self, and that's just the you that I discussed in that exercise. The you that comes into this world is beautiful, full of sunshine, light, knows just what you need. A baby knows to cry when it's hungry, to scream when there's danger, to turn their head when they don't want you near. A baby who's really in touch with their core. Another word for core could be essence,
yes,
or soul, or spirit. And I like to say that the core is the you that comes into this world when you're born and goes somewhere else when you die.
Okay.
So there you are, you're this beautiful core self. And you get dropped into this movie of your life. Now, this life that you get dropped into has about as much to do with you as the movie you go watch at the cinema. It's as if you watched that movie in the cinema and you said, oh, that's my life, and that says something about me. That's about as much as this movie means about you. But we don't know that as babies, so we think it is us. So this next pillow is called primary scenario. It's the scene that you were dropped into. The characters have already been cast. They all have backstories. As a matter of fact, they have generations of backstories.
Yes, quite a few backstories.
Pardon?
Quite a few backstories.
Quite a few backstories, and quite rigid ones,
yes,
of how the world works. The location's been scouted, so your house on the street or the apartment or the foster home or wherever you are has already been scouted. It's been decorated. The set department's been there, and hair and makeup's been there. And then you arrive. And in this primary scenario, there's injuries that happen, because even if you were born into a loving home with loving parents, mom that made milk and cookies every day after you came home from school, it doesn't necessarily mean that she could attune to you energetically.
Yes, yes.
So injuries happen, and these injuries are either around inundation or abandonment. And then the next pillow is how we defend against them.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're just going to recap what we've just done in terms of the two first pillows.
Okay.
And then let's get to the next pillow, but we'll just take a short break. I'm so excited to have you. Sandy Stewart is with me, and we're talking about getting to your core self. We'll be back in just a moment.
Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now, this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget, web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call earthchannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
Use Royal Essence Organic Bulgarian Rose Water and stress will melt away. Emotions become balanced. Skin will be healed, moisturized, and tightened. Produced in the Valley of Roses in Bulgaria, Royal Essence Organic Bulgarian Rose Water comes from the highest quality rose oil in the world. For thousands of years, rose water has been prized for its cosmetic and medicinal purposes, and now you can get the best. Visit royalessence.com or call 949-357-9389. That's 949-357-9389.
If you're in the UK, you can have a healthier pet for less by going to Pet Supermarket. Whether you have a dog, cat, bird, fish, reptile, or other small pet, you can get everything you need for your pet for less. They have the brands you know and trust. You can even buy gift certificates and doggy clothing and apparel. Get your pet everything they need from nose to tail. Visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on Pet Supermarket now.
You're listening to CHSR, Real Radio on the web.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to LifeBites Radio. The theme today is Awake to Your True Self. I'm talking to Sandy Stewart, who is talking to me today about getting to your core self. We had talked briefly about the first two, quote, pillows. Let's just recap, just in case somebody's just tuning in for the first time. So the first pillow is your true self, right?
Is your core self.
Core self.
And I just want to say that these pillows are the pillows that we use in IBP therapy, integrative body psychotherapy. So that's where these pillows come from.
I love it.
So the first pillow is your core self, your essence, your soul, the you that comes into this world when you're born and goes somewhere else when you die and has everything completely tuned into what you need, who you are, your true core, beautiful, bright, shining like the sun self.
All right.
Then you get landed in the primary scenario pillow, which is the scene that you are born into. It's the parents that you have, the house that you live in, the city, the country, the time in history where you live. It's the scene that you land in. This scene has nothing to do with you, but as we grow, we make it all about us, and we forget that it's only where we land because there's injuries in the scenario, and the injuries separate us little by little, more and more from our core self, and we begin to believe that these injuries didn't happen to us, that they are us. So the way we defend against these injuries, and every injury is either stems from abandonment or inundation. Abandonment's easy. Everybody knows what that is pretty much. And it can be as simple as your mom just not being attuned to you. She might be there all the time, but you just don't feel known and seen and heard and understood. Inundation is a little harder. Inundation is like when you're hovered, when your mom's like a helicopter hovering over you, and every move you make, she has her eye out on you, and you are expected to live, be, and act a certain way in order to make her life okay. And that inundation often just causes, you can really understand it in adolescence, like, get off me, get away from here. And you may even have friends that just sort of come up in your personal space and you feel inundated.
Yep.
So those are the injuries. So how do we deal with these injuries? We develop character styles. All of us develop character styles. And the character style has a little knob on it, and it spins. And the reason it spins is because all of us have some of these most of the time. It's just how we learn to do life. The first character style on the pillow is developmental, which we talked about in our opening exercise, is splitting off. The first thing a baby can do to what doesn't feel good is just physically split off, hold their breath, shut down their light, and emotionally split off. So we all know people that, or you may have had the experience yourself when somebody's talking to you, and then they look at you like you're supposed to respond, and you realize you haven't even been there for the last two sentences. You don't know what they said. You're off thinking about what you have to do next. That's splitting off.
Yeah.
Or when you're telling a friend something very intimate, and you can really feel that they're looking at you, but there's a deadness in their eyes. They're not really with you. That's how splitting off looks as we grow into adulthood if we don't become aware of it. Automatic no is the next character style. We all know people, it's really easy to consider this around a boss. If you have a boss and you have a great idea about how you can save the company money and you go tell your boss and he says, no, it'll never work because, and then the next week he institutes this new procedure that's your procedure as his idea. These are people that automatically say no. Then maybe when they think about it, they change their mind. But it's a character style, and it's a stance. And it starts when you're 2 years old, when babies learn the word no. You're not the boss of me, and they can push you away. The next character style is having a fixed idea. And remember, we start to do these things to protect. It's not that we're bad people. It's that we're protect, and we've lost the connection to our core, and we're trying to get back. And we think these character styles are going to help us, but they really only separate us more from our core. So the next one is having a fixed idea. If you find yourself saying words like always, never, and should, you probably have fixed ideas. And the reason that this is a character style that doesn't serve you is if you have fixed ideas, you're not open to the possibilities of life. It's like black and white. It's like being stuck in adolescence where things are very black and white. And again, if you grow up and you're still stuck in black and white, you may have very fixed ideas about how your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or spouse should act, and you haven't even communicated this with them, so they have no idea that they're continuously letting you down.
Oh, yeah.
Because you just have this fixed idea that men should da-da-da, women should da-da-da-da-da. Gender prejudice is in fixed ideas.
Yes, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Probably will do it again.
That's why the pillow spins.
Yes.
We've all done a little bit of this, I'm afraid. Treating oneself as an object is the next character style. If a child is led to believe that their wishes, hopes, and desires don't matter, they begin to feel like an object rather than a person. If you've ever noticed parents that talk about their kids as if they're not in the room, they're treating that child like an object. They're saying, well, Johnny always, but Johnny's sitting right there, so he thinks, well, wait, who's Johnny? What am I? And this can show up later in life. You treat yourself like an object. You work 18 hours a day and you expect everybody else to. I'm not a person. I don't need downtime. I'm just going to go, go, go. Or people that develop bulimia or anorexia. They're not enough attuned enough with their body to be able to give themselves the food they and with overeating as well.
So I want to make sure that I've got a question because I know I really want you to talk about this workshop that's coming up. Will you be addressing these core?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because
yes. We have I do a workshop with a friend from Canada, Kathleen Seeley, wonderful woman who is in the leadership industry and works with major companies across the country and does a lot of work with Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, his seminars. So Kathleen and I do a workshop called Good Food, Good Wine, Good Sex, Goodbye. And it's really about what you need to say goodbye to in order to have what you really want. And so we're doing a 3-day workshop at a beautiful camp in Malibu, retreat in May 15th, 16th, 17th. And we're doing one in Calgary and in British Columbia after that. And all of the dates and the description of the workshop are on our website, goodfoodgoodwine.goodsexgoodbye.com.
Oh, my gosh. I love the title, by the way. I love the title.
There's a good story behind it, and at the workshop we tell the story.
We
demonstrate the story.
Oh, you demonstrate the story. I just want to encourage all of you. She did such a great job. You've done such a great job trying to condense this for us in just a very short time. It really, I can't, I'm actually signing up for the Malibu one. I'm bringing friends. I'm bringing friends, darling. So, yes. So, Sandy Stewart, thank you so much for being on the show today and sharing a little bit about how we can get to our core self.
Thank you, Nina. It's been hope we can do it again.
Oh, we will. So good food, good wine, good sex, goodbye.com. Check it out. I'll be there in May in Malibu. Join us. All right.
I love food, and I love to eat. The cooking and cleaning part, not so much. And then I found a link to the chef's catalog on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page, and I was happy to find all sorts of amazing recipes and tips on cooking, in addition to great chef-quality kitchen equipment and savings as well. Now I look forward to my time in the kitchen, thanks to chef's catalog on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page.
NASCAR champion Bobby Labonte here with my brother Terry and my nephew Justin. You know, every sport has its essential safety gear.
For racing, we wear helmets, fire retardant suits, and Nomex gloves.
For fishing, waterfowl hunting, and boating, we wear life jackets.
After an intense race, there's nothing more relaxing than bass fishing.
Or a little duck hunting on the lake.
But we're the first ones to tell you, on the track or on the water, accidents happen fast.
In a crash, there's no time to put on a helmet. And when a boater capsizes or is thrown from the boat, there's rarely time to reach a stowed life jacket.
But today's life jackets are lightweight and comfortable. Fishing or hunting, they don't get in your way.
That's why you won't catch a Labonte on the water without a life jacket.
Don't let us catch you either. Remember, you're in command. Boat safely.
This message brought to you by the United States Coast Guard. For more information on boating safety, visit www.uscgboating.org.
For more than 20 years, Homeboy Industries has made a difference in the lives of former gang members and at-risk youth in Los Angeles. Their free programs and services have given hope and opportunity to thousands and their signature businesses: Homeboy Bakery, Homegirl Cafe and Catering, Homeboy Silkscreen and Embroidery, and Homeboy Merchandise. Offers hands-on training in a safe work environment. Donate to Homeboy today and help them continue their important work. To find out more, call 323-526-1254 or visit online at www.homeboy-industries.org.
Music, information, and friends. HealthyLife.net.
Well, I would like to thank my guest today. What a fun show. Awake to Your True Self. It can be fun to awake to your true self. Nikki Johnson-Incandela, she has a wonderful new series coming out, Be Seen, Mastering Your Look, BeSeenLive.com. It will be going live November 17th. The series starts December 17th. I'd also like to thank Paola de Florio, Counterpoint Films, their new film, Awake, Life of Yogananda. I definitely recommend going out and seeing that film and getting into the stillness and the awakening of who you are. And Sandy Stewart, thank you so much for being on the show and helping us get in tuned to our core selves. And go to Good Food, Good Wine, Good Sex, Goodbye.com. And on that note, I'm going to leave you with this thought. It's from Paramahansa Yogananda. You must not let your life run in the ordinary way. Do something that nobody else has done, something that will dazzle the world, show that God's creative principle works in you. Until next time, I'm Nina Bosky from LifeBites, and remember to take a bite out of life before life takes a bite out of you. Bye.